International Business, Masters of Commerce, second semester, Mangalore University, session 23. Managing Global Business Risks. In this session, you are going to learn the continued part of exam policy. Learning objective. To discuss about the concept of foreign trade policy of the year 2002 to 2007. The session outcome, the students are able to understand about the features and evaluation of foreign trade policy of 2002 to 2007. The foreign trade policy of the year 2002 to 2007. The foreign trade policy was the first composite trade policy drafted for the period of 5 years. The policy was announced on 31st March 2002 and marked a shift from the focus on liberalization to export promotion. Various objectives of the trade policy were: first, to increase the country's share in the world trade from 0.67% in 2002 to 1% in 2007, to increase the growth rate in exports to 12.4% per annum. Third, to allow liberal import of technology. Fourth, to remove the quantitative restrictions on exports. Fifth, to set up abroad the business centers for the benefit of Indian exporters. Next are the measures or the features of the exam policy of 2002 to 2007. First is facilities for the agricultural sector. The following measures were proposed to be adopted to boost the agri exports of the country. Like first one, to remove all the quantitative restrictions on exports. Next, to set up 32 agri export zones. Third, to make available the transport subsidy to allow for diversification of agricultural exports. And fourth, to liberalize the restrictions on the packing of agricultural products. Second, benefits to small cottage and handicraft industries. For this sector, the following measures were proposed to be adopted. First one, to give technological support for upgradation of technology to the export-oriented units in this sector. Second, to entitle the status of an export house on reaching the export performance of 5 crore against 15 crore for others. Third, to make these units eligible for the benefits and tax concessions as available to the export houses on reaching the aforesaid export target. Fourth, to remove the export obligations of this sector. And fifth, Tripura for hosiery, Ludhiana for woolen, and Panipat for blankets were notified as towns for excellence. The policy proposed to offer special infrastructure facilities and help centers to these towns. Next, third is facilities to cess. For the cess, the following measures were proposed to be adopted, and like first one, to allow the offshore banking units in special economic zones, to allow units in cess to undertake hedging of commodity price risks avoid provided such transactions are undertaken by the units on standalone basis. Third, to permit external commercial borrowings for a tenure of less than 3 years in cess. Next, fourth is facilities. Sorry, it has been repeated. Next is trust-based measures. Following measures were adopted to win the trust of the exporters for facilitation and promotion of the country's exports. The first is liberalization of import or export of samples for encouraging the product upgradation. Penal interest rate for bona fide defaults brought down from 24% to 15%. Cancellation of penalty for non-realization of export proceeds in respect of cases covered by the ECGC insurance package. And fourth is simplification of procedures for advanced licensing. Next is industry-wise measures to remove all the textile package restrictions by 2005, and to abolish the import duty on diamonds, and the third, to liberalize the import of gold and silver, and fourth, to exempt from custom duty and export obligations the units set up in the Electronic Hardware Technology Park. Next, duty neutralization measures. The policy proposed to offer duty neutralization measures to promote the export. These were duty-free entitlement certificate, It means the certificate was meant to allow duty-free import of raw materials for exporters. And second is duty entitlement passbook, which means the policy aimed to provide duty credit to exporters in the passbook maintained for it. The credit could be utilized for the import of machinery or the products by the exporters without making payment for the import duty. Next is Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme, EPCGS, which means that under this scheme, the import of the capital goods was to be made duty free if it resulted in the export of a specified amount and within a specified time. Next is growth promotion measures. The following were the measures which were adopted to accelerate the pace of economic growth in the country. The first one is a strategic package for the status holders. The following facilities were entitled for the strategic package for status holders, like license or the certificate and the permissions and custom clearances for both the imports and exports of on self declaration basis. Second, availability of finance on priority finance for medium and long term capital requirement. Third, exemption from compulsory negotiation of documents through banks. The remittance would, however, be only received through bank networks. And next is 100% retention of foreign exchange in exchange earners foreign currency, that is EEFC account. Next is extension in the period of repatriation from 180 days to 360 days. Next is neutralization of high fuel cost. So in order to enhance the competitiveness of the exports, the fuel cost were rebated in the standard input output norms, that is SION, for all export products. The value of fuel to be permitted as a percentage of FOB value, that is factory on board value of exports for various products group, were as under. So here there were certain rebate. In the case of dye and dye intermediaries, 4% was a rebate, and remaining bulk drug and drug intermediates, glass, ceramic products, paper made from wood pulp or certain waste paper, and pesticides, then refractory items, ferrous engineering products manufactured through forging or casting process. One second. Yeah, dye and dye intermediaries and non-ferrous basic metal and fiber to yarn. These products were fetching a rebate of 4%, and yarn to fabric or yarn to garments were fetching a rebate of 3%. Then plastic and plastic products from basic monomer stage, and pesticides, paper made from wood pulp, ceramic products, glass, bulk drug were fetching a rebate of 5%, and refractory items, ferrous engineering products, and fiber to fabric. So these were fetching a rebate of 7%. Next is diversification of markets. So business centers were proposed to be set up abroad under this policy, and the business centers would help to find the business avenues for the exporters abroad. Next is the special benefits to the northeastern states like Sikkim and Jammu Kashmir. Transport subsidy for exports was proposed to be given to units located in northeast, Sikkim and Jammu and Kashmir, so as to offset the disadvantage of being far from the ports. Now let us discuss about the evaluation of the foreign trade policy of for 2002 to 2007. First one is a comprehensiveness. Second, boost to agricultural products. Third, boost to the cottage and small scale industries. Fourth, export promotion. Fifth, facilities for technology upgradation. Next, procedural simplification, neutralization of duty, setting up business centers, diversification of business, and focus on the export led growth. Thus, all in all, the policy of was export friendly in nature. However, owing to a change in the government from NDA to Congress, the policy was revisited and a new exim policy was announced in the year 2004. The new EXIM policy was targeted for a period of 5 years from 2004 to 2009 and attempted to overrule the existing foreign trade policy.